All right, it is 6 o'clock. I will call this meeting to order. If we all want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everybody. Yes, we got a full house tonight.
Most I've ever seen.
All right, if we could have roll call. Mr. Robinette,
Jason Bell,
present.
Don Cummings,
Present.
Donnie Robinette is here. Jeanette Baker,
Present.
James Cobb,
Here.
Jennifer Eccles. I didn't see her come in. Joe Hubbard,
Here.
Paul Jecken,
Here.
and Jerry Spindler. Jerry's not here.
All right, looks like we have a quorum here. Is there any modifications to the agenda?
There are not.
All right. The consent agenda.
The only two changes in that is the last two checks in the checkbook will appear on next month's claims, but we had to write them early because they're due. Otherwise, we're good to have a motion to approve that.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, second.
Seconded.
All right. Let's move to committee reports.
There are none.
All right, old business.
There is none.
All right, new business.
All right. Just to give you some context of where we are with the grant program. The only things that I possibly see coming up this year would probably be the Historic Places Conference for $2,500. Maybe a portion of the Veterans Alley metal piece. Those are the only ones that I see would be likely to happen this year. So that's kind of where we are. Now, I'm not going to do things in the order that they are because I think there's some that'll go pretty fast. So we're going to do them in a little different order. I'm going to call up first Bargersville Parks and Rec to talk about cultural soundscapes. So when you come to the podium, go ahead and introduce yourself and your affiliation.
Good evening, board members. Dax Thornton, town manager, town Bargersville. I'll start this because I created this mess. This is one of my well, it's become a desire of the town. So the town is really embarking on a journey to become kind of a central focal point of the creative economy entrepreneurial ecosystem. And that is musical arts and people actually making money doing that. I don't make money drumming. I'm not very good at it. So, but there are people out there that want to make money, and there are communities across the state that have, including us, and they do a summer concert series, and it's your traveling cover band show. They go from one community to the next on any given night. This program is a little different. So this program kind of fits into the Municipal Arts and Culture Commission, and then the Parks Department, which I won't steal off Chris's thunder. It's inviting up and coming original artists to our county and bringing people from outside of our county to come enjoy our Martyr Plaza and listen to those original artists. They have to be original. They have to be trying to make some kind of living doing it, and all of these bands, and it's just not your typical, cover band. I'm Devil Nichols this year. Was playing that I used to love. It's just original music. So that's kind of a preface for that Chris is going to talk about. And then we do have an interesting partner who's come on board with this, who greatly assist the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris Wilson, Director of Parks and Recreation with the town of Bargersville. As Dax said, we are looking for a little bit different than your traditional concert series. We do that also. But Cultural Soundscapes is the small emerging artists, whether those are bands from Johnson County or around the area. We have one from Shelby County. We have a few. Right now we have 6 of the potential 10 bands confirmed and booked, ready to go. We're waiting, we'll do some additional sponsorship dollars. The exciting partnership we have is with 92.3 WTTS, who helped identify some of those emerging artists. So it wasn't up to our musical tastes, some of the professionals that knew, but we'll also, the town will be investing, we'll be doing marketing with TTS, which will have 70+ spots, a lot of highlighting the opportunities, not only for people to come visit, but also for future bands to come. We're trying to utilize Umbarger Plaza, a new space, but provide free resources for people to come enjoy, not only for artists, but also for the community and outside of Johnson County to come enjoy.
Awesome, thank you. Do you have I guess, a schedule of when these are going to be happening? Is it every Tuesday? Is it?
They are Friday evenings. It's not every week, so we're looking at a maximum of 10. So we said 7 to 10, depending on our funding. So we want to, no tax dollars be paying for this. With the exception, we will be doing our marketing from the town of Bargersville. Friday evenings, from 7 to 9 in the evening. We're done at 9 p.m. The road won't be closed, anything like that, but we'll have opportunities for any sponsors, any grants, anything to have a presence, share what their resources are as well.
Are any of these competing with, say, Franklin's or Founders when they do this?
Some of the dates, I haven't looked at it, but we do this similar thing. Our big concerts, the cover bands are on Thursdays in Bargersville. For a few reasons, we try not to compete with private business. Mallow Run has theirs on Saturdays. We don't have the exact same concerts. Some dates may be similar to Franklin's, but they're very different. We find that, you know, if people are looking to come to Franklin for First Fridays or whatever that might be, we haven't found a competition in those sorts of things.
Okay.
So they run from May through September, primarily in May, June, and July.
How many people do you expect to come from outside of the county to this?
We attempted to do something similar like this last year, but it was turned over to a partner who it really didn't advertise or do any of those things. So we did not have a great attendance, but with what we're intending on doing this year, I'm thinking we'll have at least 100 people, reaching out to 1,000+.
I think the partnership with TTS is gonna be huge.
Yeah.
If we can have 100, I think that's gonna be the minimum. They're really gonna push this, especially their Monday night show, which is their emerging artist show. I think it's gonna pull people from Bargersville. People are gonna hear about Bargersville who haven't heard about Bargersville before.
Yeah, it's
I would say 100 is the minimum.
Okay.
We would love to have 2, but it's definitely gonna be a lot different.
good. Okay.
Of those 6 bands, how many of them that you said you have confirmed, how many of those 6 bands are basically from outside the county coming in that would bring their family and friends with them?
Yeah, I don't think any of them are from.
From outside the county,
Yeah.
all those bands are from outside.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're gonna bring all their folks and pretty unique. This is pretty unique
Yeah.
So,
series that we're trying to put together. We want them to eventually do music recording in our newly redone downtown. That's part of the downtown master plan, or you know, having their own spots where they actually have a studio and this is their home base. We want to move here too. So that's part of this whole entire entrepreneurial ecosystem thing is other people will see it and want to bring their product here as well as we redevelop and grow the downtown.
Awesome. Is there any further discussion? We have a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve this grant full request.
Do I have a second?
In the amount of $2,500 or,
Yes.
okay.
Do I have a
Second.
Second. All right. Is there any further discussion? Nope. All right. All in favor to approve the $2,500 ask for Bargersville Cultural Soundscapes, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right. Congratulations.
You're free to leave, but before you do, we'll have you come up for a quick photo opportunity. Then you'll be on with your evening. So, why not?
If we're gonna leave, that's fine.
All right, get up here.
They should not see to cut my hair.
There you go. Good news is it looks little all the time.
Chat, we have to wait for that.
To dry.
I figured it was coming, so.
There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Last month.
Get us their smart slide.
All right, we're gonna call the folks with bands battling hunger to the podium next. I didn't introduce you.
Hello there. I am Carrie Carmichael, the Executive Director of The Refuge. And we are doing our second year of the event called Bands Battling Hunger. You guys were gracious enough to be a sponsor last year as a first time event. So we are changing things up a little bit as far as location, just to try something a little bit different. We met with the Trafalgar town manager, and he was completely excited and thrilled to be able to host it at their new amphitheater. So we're looking at August 29th as the date. We're going to have a mix of different bands. Some of them are from our supporting churches, but then also some community bands. Just hoping that having it in Trafalgar, we're drawing new donors, new businesses, new community members to learn a little bit about what the Refuge does, but also just to have kind of our DNA is having community support. That's how we're able to do what we do.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited that, we're having some support for the Trafalgar Amphitheater. Obviously, we've invested in that community, and year 1, year 2 is imperative to that. So based on last year and then moving for this year, is there anything different or additional that you're going to be doing? Are you going to try to just kind of have the same product and hope the rain stays away?
Yeah, weather was not our friend last year, but more family environment. So we want to try to do some games and maybe even bounce houses. We just got to kind of still work with Brian on what space will allow, but just having where families and different individuals and people from the community can get out and just have a great afternoon and evening together. The way we did it last year was the morning was kind of the techie, setting it up, making sure the sound system all worked. And then we started mid-afternoon and went into just before dark to wrap it up in the evening. Had food trucks, vendors, different companies that were out to be able to just provide the food aspect of it for people while they're there. And then we provide all the volunteers to make sure that it's ran well and parking and support that way.
Any further discussion?
You guys know what the Refuge is? Okay.
All right, do we have a motion? I'll put a motion to approve the $1,500 second year ask for Bands Battling Hunger.
I'll second.
All right, is there any further discussion? All right, all approve, say aye.
Aye.
All oppose? All right, congratulations.
Thank you guys very much. I do need to do my hair. That's not fair. Yeah.
She's like, why are you so happy with me? Like, you don't want to.
Thank you guys.
Oh, yes. Now I remember.
All right, next we'll move to the strides for sarcoma folks. And I just have a couple things that I'd like you to address. Is this moving from one location to another? Okay, talk about that. And then are you adding something that wasn't there last year or? Okay, so address those two things if you would for me.
So good evening, board. My name is Jane Pollard. This is my sister Julie Congelco, and we appreciate your time this evening. We are here representing the organization Strides for Sarcoma, which is a nonprofit organization that seeks to fund research for sarcoma cancer, specifically in childhood. The organization was started by actually her twin son and daughter, my niece and nephew, in honor of our niece and their cousin Maya, who bravely battled Ewing sarcoma and recently passed away. And this organization strives to really pursue what we found lacking in the sarcoma care, and that was really specifically research to help find cures for this disease in children. We have had this event, the Strides for Sarcoma event, to raise these fundraising these research dollars for the past 2 years. 2026 will be our 3rd year. It started in 2024 at the Greenwood Amphitheater in Johnson County. We had about 500 attendees. We did not know what to expect. We had about 500 attendees for that event and about 50 volunteers. And it was a beautiful evening. We got a friend to do some music. You know, that's how you do things when you start at the grassroots, right? And I think one of our children grabbed a microphone to welcome people, and that's how the event rolled. We didn't have any idea. It rolled from there to last year, where we again used the Greenwood Amphitheater. It rained, so we are in touch with the weather thing. But despite the rain, we had over 800 participants again, and we were proud to raise tens of thousands of dollars that we were able to give to organizations to fund this research. And right now, our board is currently reviewing 8 applicants from different universities to be able to continue some significant funding this time, in hopes that we can make these outcomes. Right, the grant is $50,000 that we're getting ready to award, in hopes that we can find a cure for this nasty disease. So, moving forward, we have outgrown the Greenwood Amphitheater, and so we are moving now. We've secured Mallow Run as our location for the 2026 event, which will be held on July 17th. Each year, the organization chooses a Warrior of the Year. Our first winner was from Marion County. Our second warrior last year was from Johnson County. Drew a new group of people to the event for sure. This year's warrior is from Hamilton County, from Fishers. She also happens to be I'm going to let my sister tell this part because she knows more about her. Tell us about Vivian.
Vivian is a sophomore at Purdue University. She is also part of the gold medal Paralympics sitting volleyball team. They won a gold medal this past fall, I believe. So she's going to bring our whole group of supporters that support her and her journey, as well as Strides.
The following. So when we heard about your organization, we thought this could be a good partnership because we have changed locations because we believe we've outgrown the Greenwood Amphitheater. We also we anticipate we're going to have a big crowd of college kids this year, and we're going to have to up our entertainment because while we've had some local favors drawn in, we think that we needed to up that and really have a bigger draw. We think the Mallow Run location will also give us a new group of people because people like summer music. And if you could grant us good weather, we would be forever grateful because we also think that would give us a bigger draw as well. So our ask this evening is for your help in supporting some funding for the entertainment to see if we can't entice people to come and join us and spread the word about Strides for Sarcoma.
Awesome. Thank you.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
So the part that you're improving on the event is more so because the demographics that are coming, you want to entertain them a little bit more. Is that correct?
I kind of say that kind of tongue in cheek because that's really kind of been our kind of line that we've been talking about. But honestly, we know we are growing. I left out a few parts that I'll just include. We've been invited to speak at different events in Kentucky and Ohio and in Indiana and in Washington, D.C. So word is spreading about Strides. And so year 3, typically in an organization, is when it explodes. We'd like to capitalize on that by being prepared for that. And working with even the local vendors in Johnson County to make sure that we can promote places for people to stay, other things for people to do. Our event's on a Friday night. Mallow Run has events on a Saturday night. So potentially, if our friends from outside of Johnson County come, they can make a weekend out of it, a summer weekend. Again, the weather thing is really important, but hopefully people know enough about us that they will come and we can really continue to grow the fundraising.
Awesome.
Will Mallow Run also be promoting this?
Yes, yes.
In all their, yes, and they said in all their marketing, they will include this. Yes.
And you kind of touched on it, but how many folks do you expect from outside of the county?
That's a great question. It's hard for us to know. We haven't done any demographic studies about where people came from last year.
Okay.
You can reasonably assume that many came from Johnson County just because we had it at the Greenwood Amphitheater.
Sure.
But quite honestly, many came from Marion County. With Vivian's inclusion this year, we anticipate that, you know, if we do this right, we can get quite a few Hamilton County people to come in. And again,
Yeah.
you know, Tippecanoe County, and likely, if I can be blunt, likely with the atmosphere of Mallow Run, they will likely spend the night.
Mhm.
Oh, at
Right.
least we hope. Their college kids. Their families will come. That's what, this has been a family event.
Okay.
For the last couple of years. So we have yard games and food trucks and many vendors already secured.
Is there any further discussion? Nope. Do we have a motion? Nope.
I make a motion that we award Strides for Sarcoma $2,500 for their event this year.
All right. Do we have a second?
So,
Second by Mr. Cummins. All right. Is there any further discussion? Nope. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir. Thank you.
You need a checkbook, buddy. This is.
Thank you very much.
Organization, ladies.
Yes, absolutely. Spread the word.
We'll be in touch with all the hoops you got to jump through. So thanks for coming. All right, we're going to call Johnson County Parks and Rec to give us an update from what we discussed at the last meeting.
it's all working out.
Hello, I'm Christy Howe, Recreation Director for Johnson County Parks, and I'm here tonight to revisit from our last meeting regarding the iceless skating rink. After the last board meeting, I went back to my office. We discussed it with the board members. Unfortunately, due to the insurance liability, the board kind of felt at this time they would not like to purchase the ice skating rink, but would just rather do the 1-day rental. And with that being said, we're currently working on different things to bring to the event this year to help bring more people from outside the community. I'm in works with a company right now to either do a drive-through light show or a walk-through Christmas light show to help bring more people to the community. So then we can bring more people inside to enjoy the skating rink to increase our numbers from last year.
Thank you. So on top of, this will fall on the same day as Deck the Stalls, correct?
Yes, that is correct. We'll
Okay.
have it inside Dunn Arena. And then we'll
Okay.
have most of the items will be inside, but we will have some activities outdoors, like the stall decorating contest, either the light show, either drive-through or walk-through.
Mhm.
We'll have some food vendors outside, and potentially some more items. We will have we're looking at doing like a hayride too.
Okay,
So
all right. And what was the original ask, Ken? You remember?
Well, this is the original ask. If it was just going to be a 1-day event, if we were going to purchase something, that would have been, $25,000. But this is what it would take to bring skating into one of our communities for what, the 4th consecutive year?
Right.
So that's where we're at.
Okay. Is there any discussion or questions?
Is there any reason, like, once it's all set up and everything, you wouldn't want it for another day or two?
I would like to do it for Friday and Saturday. I would have to see, usually Nick, he's pretty good. He'll come in a day or two to set it up. If he's willing to come set it up beforehand, say Wednesday or Thursday, then I could have Friday to potentially promote that to the community and have people come in for that.
And do we know what that would run, Ken? Would that be the same pricing?
Probably push that to about 10,000. The setup is a lot of the cost. We had, I think it was 25,000 for 9 days, so you can kind of see the incremental math. So probably around 10, 11.
That includes having 2 attendants on hand, just because it's their rink. I don't want the responsibility if something would happen to it. I would rather have their employees there monitoring the skates and the rink itself. And if anything would come apart loose, they're there to fix it.
And the 7,500 is just for the rink. That's not for the deck, the stalls, the lights, or any of the other stuff too.
That
It's
is just the skating.
just the skate.
And we actually provided a grant, a second year grant for that event last time. So this would just be the add-on of the skating.
And the number of folks that we expect.
For this year, our goal is we would like to see at least 2,500 people.
You have the lights, that would be a better shot.
Yes.
And is that then free to the public, or is there a charge?
Last year, we had a gate fee for people to come in.
Okay.
But this year we're kind of tossing it to see what would work best. Either it would be free, or if they would have a small fee, entrance fee, but then the skating we would do for free to try to get more people inside for the skating itself.
Yeah, any further discussion on this? No? Do we have a motion? I'll put a motion for $7,500 for Johnson County Parks to host the ice rink, and that is going to be set up as well. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion?
I would just say, and I'm not pushing you to do this, but if you would talk to your folks and later decide, maybe a second day wouldn't be bad, come back and ask for the rest.
I think the only other follow-up that I would have is that if we can get the analytics on where folks are coming from for it, I mean, it's $7,500, then it's, if it's free to the community, okay. But our intent as a board is to bring folks in from outside the community. With your location, that's a distinct possibility that they're going to come north, and in that regard, I'm willing to take a shot at it. But I think we need to make sure that is captured going forward.
We can actually do that via Placer, so they don't have to lift the finger. We'll
Perfect.
provide that for you after.
Yeah, and I think that will better inform this decision going forward. If this is something that will continue to come before this board, that we have that information to go, yes, this is the juice is worth the squeeze on it, and that we understand, where the money's going. I'll get off my soapbox now.
It'll be a good piece of information to see whether, people come for deck the stalls, did 2% of them skate or did 50% of them skate, right? And you'll
Yep,
know.
and we can do that for you. So.
Awesome. So all approve, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and your consideration. Thank you.
Oh, she did it. She's good.
No, I appreciate it.
Right, the organization.
I'm I'm waiting.
Thank you.
Well, let's stitch all this together as a movie. We see it.
All right. Second to last in order of who's going to take up the most time is Dustin Brenton. Dustin, have a seat.
I had a lot more to talk about, but Ken said I had 5 minutes. I was like, have you met me?
That's why I hate
Yeah. He tried to rein me in a bit. My name's Dustin Brenton. I'm with
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's not me. Well, I'll start talking until we get there. So my name's Dustin Brenton. I'm with Brenton Creative. I actually did the banner behind you guys. I saw that and I came in. I was like, oh, hey, I made that. I'm producing a film. I have 2 things I want to talk about. I'm producing a film called Micronation that is being shot mostly here in Johnson County. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about Torchfire Film Festival. With Micronation is, I'll tell you the synopsis of the film. I don't know how many of you read any of the stuff from last time, so we'll talk about it a little bit. So there's a farmer, Sam Shoemaker, is getting his land taken away from him through eminent domain, and he does not want to give up his property. So in a crazy scheme, he decides to secede from the United States and create his own micronation, his fake nation, and saying, you can't take your land away from, or you can't take my land away from me. You don't own it. It's not part of the United States. It's really just a plan to delay the inevitable. But along the way, some people move on to his land, and he learns to get out of his routine ways. And it's a love story. He meets somebody on the land, learns to love again. That's just kind of the overarching idea of micronation. So I don't know if we can go ahead a few slides. Go another one more. Okay, so this already is an award-winning screenplay from several film festivals. Just screenplay alone. Nothing has been shot other than one small scene. All right, go ahead. A few more. Keep going. All right, we'll stop right there real quick. So we do have a few notable names that I want to point out that are going to be in this film. Chick McGee and Josh Arnold from the Bob and Tom Show have signed on to be in the film. They're not the stars of it, but they're a part of the movie. We also have a lady by the name of Ashley Ottison. She is an internet creator. She has 1.2 million followers on Instagram alone. She has many more on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, whatnot. She's also in the film as well. And the band Bigfoot Yancey is going to be in it, who some of you may be familiar with. They're going to be performing at Strawberries on the Square this year. So if not, come to Strawberries on the Square. You'll hear a great band. The other people in the film are local. I do a lot of work with the Brown County Playhouse, so I know some of the people down there who are actors, and so we have our main actors are from there. The main woman in the film, her name is Brooke Hogan. She is not related to Hulk Hogan, not that Brooke Hogan, but she is flying in from Portland, and Ashley Ottison is flying in from New York. So why that's important is people are coming in to Johnson County. They will be staying at the hotel out by the interstate, which I am blanking on right now, Hampton Inn, at the Hampton Inn. We already got their rooms booked and ready for them to go. And the other people, I want to point out, Michael Bennett is, I cast him to be in the role and then found out he's a history teacher at Greenwood High School. So that was kind of fun because he was talking about it in class, and my nephew was in his class and had no idea that he was in there. He's like, yeah, that's my uncle's film. So, all right, we can go to the next. Let's keep going on till about we'll stop right there real quick. So like I said, I had a lot more I could talk about. We're doing everything here in Indiana, and mostly Johnson County. The only part that's not in Johnson County is the farmhouse that we're using. It's actually my sister's house out in Morgantown, so it's Johnson County adjacent. But everything else is here. We have an agreement with Ann's Restaurant. Most of the film is either at the farm or at the restaurant. So, and the actress that's coming in to play Ashley, who's coming in from New York, is playing a waitress there. She will be wearing an Ann's Restaurant shirt the whole time, promoting Ann's. We will be showing the outside of the restaurant, the inside of the restaurant, really promoting Johnson County. All right, let's keep going here. Let's go to 19. All right, so local companies, local people that we're working with. So as part of the production company, I am not able to do this all by myself. It would be great if I could, because it would save a lot more money. I am working with a company called First Frame Productions out of Greenwood that is bringing in more talent and the actual crew, the camera, the lights, the sound. We're doing this right. This isn't just somebody with a VHS camera in the backyard with his buddies. We're making an actual film here. If we go to the next slide. Oh, and why those people are in town, we're bringing in actors and actresses and whatnot. Anybody coming in, they're going to be going to restaurants. They're going to be staying at hotels. They're going to be going to shops and whatnot while they're here on the downtime, I'm sure. We have partnered with Ann's Restaurant. We will be there. There are scenes where the character is driving a lot from one place to another. So we'll see a lot of Johnson County, whether it be murals, whether it be the courthouse, whether it be it's very Franklin centric. I keep saying Johnson County, but it's Franklin. If we have somewhere in Greenwood that we need to shoot, we could, or wherever in between. We are working with Mallow Run. I have a conversation with them tomorrow. There are some scenes where there are bottles of wine, and I want to feature them. I've actually worked with Mallow Run and some other projects as well, so had a foot in with them already. So talking to them tomorrow. I've working with Small Town Girl Boutique here in Franklin. They're going to be providing the wardrobe for our main character. Just having more partnerships with the community, and I've been in conversations a little bit with Chief Cochran to allow us to use a Franklin Police Department car in a good light. We will be shining a good light on police department. My dad is a police officer. My grandpa was. My uncle was. I have a whole line of family, so there's nothing bad about the policemen in this movie. But we don't know the legalities, so we're working through that and talking through to make sure we're not doing anything that's against any rules or regulations and stuff. If we can't use it, that's fine. But just another partnership that I'm trying to reach out and make it very Johnson County centric. All right, let's go to the next slide here. How's Festival Country going to be seen? Literally, Festival Country is going to be seen on screen and in the credits. We would be more than happy to show the location of the visitor center, driving by there, whatever other locations, businesses that we can partner with that you guys may have ideas. I'm happy to hear them as long as they don't change our shoot schedule, because we already have that in place. All right, let's go to the next one. So our reach and our audience. So we have a built-in brand equity already. I own a marketing advertising agency, Britton Creative. So when I'm putting the film together, I'm the writer of the film, but when I was putting together all the cast, I was also thinking ahead, marketing. How can we get the word out of this film? If it's just a bunch of nobodies making a film in the backyard, nobody's going to hear about it. So when I'm going and I'm selling the film, I want to have megaphones behind me. So I was able to get Ashley, who I talked about, has 1.2 million followers, and the Bob and Tom Show. I had a meeting with Chick and Josh just this week. We asked them, hey, once we get this film done, is there a chance we could talk about it on the show? They said, absolutely. They actually said, we do whatever we want to. We don't ask for permission. And so I was like, all right, great. So do I. So hopefully, if things go well, the film goes well, the shoot goes well, we'll have a mouthpiece for the movie and ergo Johnson County on the Bob and Tom Show. And through Ashley Addison, we're telling anybody that comes in, this isn't a Marvel set. This isn't a Star Wars set. Take pictures, show things as we go along, post them on social media, let people know what we're doing.
And Bob and Tom's nationally syndicated.
Nationally syndicated Bob and Tom Show. Yeah. So we're hitting two different audiences with this too, because Bob and Tom is people who are still listening to the radio, me, and then Ashley, who is internet star who has following on TikTok and whatnot. All right, let's do the next one. So this is the exciting part, and this is what I get excited about. Even though I have not shot a single second of film yet, I want to do the premiere. I want to do the premiere at the Art Craft. I love the Art Craft. I work with them on their sponsorship videos every year. I have a really good relationship with them through the Torchfire Film Festival as well. We want to do a big premiere once this comes out, roll out the red carpet. And when we do that, as you guys know, whenever there's an event, there's ancillary benefits. So the restaurants, the businesses, people are coming in from out of Johnson County to see us. And that goes towards the Torchfire Film Festival, which we've been doing the last 2 years. Whenever we're talking to people afterwards, they're like, oh, I didn't know this town was so great. I didn't know about the Art Craft. What a great town. And then they say, we're going to come back later because it's after, 6 o'clock and everything's closed. But if, they come in early, they go out to eat, and then they go to the film festival or they go to the premiere. The other part of this is the media that would go behind this, promoting the event, trying to get people to come here and cover the premiere of the movie as well. So, yeah. All right, let's do the next one. Next slide. Oh no, I guess that's about it. I have a couple more, but I can go on. Basically, selling the film. We've done research that shows that the story itself has an audience here in the U.S. as well as in Europe. My plan is to put it into film festivals, take it to the American film market, take it to the European film markets, and get distribution that way. There's no guaranteed. It's not a lottery ticket, but it is an opportunity for us to get in front of people that wouldn't have normally seen are just south of Indianapolis area. As far as sponsorship levels, we'll talk about that just a little bit. Anywhere from 2,500 to 50,000, I've offered. I'm open to any other discussions of what that looks like. If you guys say it's something different, let's talk about it. Let's see what that is. Each level has different benefits. Part of the benefits are the Torchfire Film Festival that, and each one is different, but having sponsorship in the movie will also become a sponsor at the film festival. So that whether it be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, whatever that level looks like, we can discuss that as well. But
And this movie won't make it into this year's festival.
this movie will not be in the Torchfire Film Festival at all because that's a conflict of interest. That's my movie in my own festival. But we will be submitting it to other festivals around the country, the world, and what
I'm
have
glad that you mentioned that because I was going to say is the premiere also coinciding with the all right. So they're two.
Yeah, they're
dates.
two separate things. Yeah. So what we do at the film festival is highlighting. I feel Ken creeping up on me. Like, it's my time. Oh, your question. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm trying to get through it fast. There's a lot to cover, but yeah, questions.
So the ask for the Torchfire Film Festival, what was that?
So the film festival, we have 3 different levels. We have $100, $200, $500. That's low hanging fruit. That's yeah, there we go. Those are just simply sponsorships for the event. So for that event is to highlight Indiana independent filmmakers. We show the winning films at the Artcraft, but it's not just Indiana centric. It goes outside of Indiana as well as far as the advertising online and website, social media, and stuff like that.
What year is that in the festival?
We're in the third year.
Third year.
And each year we've grown, each year, 2 years, but each year we've grown. And even this year we see growth because we have more entries this year than we had total last year. And we still have 3 months to go for entries, 2 to 3 months to go. So it's growing. And we have more sponsors already this year as well.
Have you talked with Bargersville about shooting there as they're trying to get, Dax just briefed, they're looking to do more of an arts kind of thing. And if we're looking, Franklin's great. As a Franklin resident, I'm happy that that's going to do that. But we're looking at it from a Johnson County perspective. It would be great to get an emerging community highlighted in the film as well, and in order to kind of push what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so there could be scenes of the farmer driving from one place to another, going through Bargersville. We know the demographic or the geography of the place, but it doesn't necessarily have to be what we know from one place to another. Yeah. So we could show the murals by Taxman while he drives by it, or what have you.
I mean, just personally, I don't think that we're really in a position to be funding films, I guess, just off of face value.
Sure.
Would these sponsorship levels be going towards operating costs? It almost sounds like it would be.
Yeah. So they go towards operating costs as far as paying for the the audio guy, the videos, whatnot, but also going towards catering, going towards the marketing to help promote the film afterwards. So it's the whole gamut. So the from top to bottom, we're looking at $125,000 budget total. So anything that we can get, whether it's $20 or or it's 50,000, that's less that I have to put into it. And as of right now, I'm the biggest funder of the film. So anything else that we can get into it makes it a possibility.
Before this, we didn't have a category like this. We're not saying we got one yet, but we didn't have a category. But when this opportunity came along about being shot here, and the production would do spend here, and then there would be things in the credits that highlighted some of the locations and highlighted our brand and all this, then it seemed like maybe a sponsorship would be appropriate. In the same way, we've done sponsorships like Malrun Concert Series. It's a private initiative, let's say, but we get benefits from the sponsorship, and then they can use that money to help pull off what they're trying to do. I see it as the same thing, only this might have longer lasting benefits. If it gets distribution, then somebody that goes on Netflix 10 years from now is going to see a festival logo there. So it doesn't go away. And I think, like, if you get distribution, let's just say it was, I don't know, Lionsgate Films or something, they slap their things on the end, but they don't take off anything you've put on.
They don't do
it, right?
anything to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally distribution. And to your point, that I was going to say the same thing is, when you think of a sponsorship for a 1-day event or for a week-long event, then you're stuck in those 1 day or 7 days. This is something that has a shelf life. They can go beyond just a 1-day event, 2-day event. We will have the big event at the Art Craft and maybe another premiere on the West Coast with some of the other actors that are in the film. But this could be something that lasts beyond just a one-time event. This is an ongoing thing. Like Don said, it could be 10 years from now, somebody could load it up and watch it. So,
Ken, is there any way to quantify? I don't quite know the way to say this, but the number of placements for the sponsorship level, right? So we're going to spend X amount of dollars, and so if you're buying it on doing a social media campaign, right? You're spending money for impressions.
Mhm.
What is the dollar to impression ratio that we should expect kind of for these different sponsorships? What could, at the end of the day, what's the bang for our buck, right? That's kind of what I'm asking.
Yeah, I get the question, and I would say based on what he's talking about, the Bob and Tom exposure, the TikTok influencer, I really don't think. I'll ask you, like, when was the last time you watched credits to a movie and said, "Oh, I'm going to go to LA," or "I'm going to go to Melbourne"? Like, that to me is nothing, but you're hitting it right on the head. I think like maybe $2,500 would probably be commensurate with the exposure from Bob and Tom, the taxes we're going to be getting from the hotel stays and the influencer. I think if I were going to suggest an amount, that would probably be a fair fit.
I mean, look, Madison, right? Like the movie, so that kind of put them on the map. Who outside of Indiana had ever heard of Madison prior to?
Right.
If you're not into freaking boat racing, you would never have known about it. But then the movie comes out, and I mean, Jim Caviezel, I think I saw up there on the cast, right? So we should be good. But the point is that you can get a lot from this. To your point, there's no shelf life, right? This could be on forever.
I would say, like, if the movie only goes to the Art Craft in a few indie places, like, I would say that's the difference between like the Home Alone house, where tens of thousands of people to the end of time are going to go, versus Anne's Restaurant with a movie that doesn't go big. If we hit that lottery ticket, then it's a different story. But I'm kind of seeing, to answer your question, I'm kind of seeing that slot. But if it goes big, maybe we go like Dustin, come back. You did it. Here's some more, another film or something. But
And
that's kind of where I'm at.
And I look at it that if we open ourselves up to this sort of a thing, then the way that you maybe diversify that risk or that ROI is you invest in more than one movie when you have the opportunity.
Sure.
Some will make it big and some won't.
Right.
I happen to be connected to a Facebook page of people who like the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And everybody's always talking
I
about
was surprised by that.
if you're well, I went to Devil's Tower a few years ago. But my point is that there are people that will, like, if they're going to be within 200 miles of whatever the town was in Alabama where
Sure,
that
they'll
where
go
that
there.
farmhouse was, people go hunt down that farmhouse.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. You're right.
Right.
Nobody's going to go, "Oh, Ann's, I'm driving from California." But if they're out here and they
Driving-
became a fan of this film, they're going to.
But only if the film became widespread.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
But I would also say I do like the fact that Dustin would allow us to put the visitor center and some things in. That to me adds some value. So I think I was skeptical, but after seeing the presentation, I think maybe a bronze sponsorship might be appropriate.
Well, even if we pull down people from farther north, Fort Wayne, or, people are driving through and they're like, "We remember that movie. We're going to go right by there." They see our sign on the interstate. They're going to
Yeah. So,
stop and.
And also,
Dustin, you're done talking.
once he gets the mic, he can't take it away from him. No, to your point, with the Torchfire Film Festival, we've had people come up from Evansville. We've had people coming down from Carmel, Anderson. We even have a couple that's come over from Illinois to be a part of just the film festival. So we think if we do a movie with a premiere and we have a larger megaphone that we can get out there with Bob and Tom and a nationally syndicated radio show and pull them, and hopefully whether it's out of the state, at least out of Johnson County to us. So.
What time frame are you looking at?
So we're shooting the film the 2 weeks after Memorial Day. So
Oh.
we're starting this year. We have our schedule lined up where we have our cast, our crew. We've made partnerships with companies. We're ready to go, and we're sticking to it. So yeah. And everybody else is talking about weather. So please, if you can make it not rain those 2 weeks, that'd be great. So a lot of it's outside.
So is this a ask for the torch fire and the micronation?
Yeah.
Any one of those gets you a torch fire thrown in.
Yeah,
if I
so,
remember right.
yeah. So to Ken's point, if you said, "Hey, the bronze sponsors, okay, let's dip our toes in this," I get it. That's great. I'm happy. But it also comes with sponsorship for the 2026-27 Torchfire Film
Okay,
Festival
great.
at some level. That memory from here, but I don't know what I did plan. I'm like, it looks like 100. It looks like 200. Yeah, each level was a little higher, a little more enticing, but at least getting your team there. So.
Where are you currently at with the fund rate? You said 125,000 would be.
Is where we're at. So all cards on the table. I'm funding it myself. I have other people who have given money to the film. So I'm trying to think what the total number is. I think we're somewhere around 20,000 something from other people. And then we have a GoFundMe page that people are putting money into as well. But it's all me right now. I have a home equity line of credit, and I put up for this because I believe in it. And I've been told that if I'm not willing to put my money into it, how can I stand up here and ask you guys to put your money into it? So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I want to put my money where my mouth is and pursue my own dreams. So that's how I feel confident enough to sit here and say I'm doing it too. So,
Is there any further discussion?
My thinking is I'd rather see the silver sponsorship because we get more out of that. But if we do go back to the bronze, I would say let's give a little more money to the film festival too, because that's an event that will bring some people to town. And those are terribly small sponsorship levels.
We do that, we get that on net, at least
I-
day two.
I know that, but he can use the money for that, is what I'm saying.
So what would that motion look like for you? Not putting a motion into play, but are you thinking like a bronze sponsor plus the silver screen sponsor?
Which one's silver screen?
that would be the 500.
200, 100.
I can't read that screen.
Well, this one's better.
I was thinking about 1,000 for the film festival.
Sorry, the font's so tiny. I have it. Yeah. This is usually a printed page that's in front of you.
Alicia.
I don't think sponsorship better
Look at that.
because you're noted at the premiere at the art craft. I think that is worth it
Said,
for the extra
Would we be
money.
noted at any other, so, I mean, to your point about the lottery ticket, right? That's in some regard, that's what we are buying here is a lottery ticket. In the event that this thing goes real big, Sweet Home Alabama big, and people start, driving by going, oh, there's Ann's. Okay, we could get that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the only way for us really to get that, there's two ways. One, it has to pop, but two, our brand, to Ken's point, is put out there that people are actively going to look for. Oh, I saw this festival country thing in that movie. I've Googled stuff that I've seen in movies before, during the movie. What is that? Let me just look it up and hey, look, we get this whole thing. What's the chance, kind of.
Well, we require that to be on their website. If
It
anytime
will
we
be
do
on the
grant,
website,
it's
yeah.
required a link to our website. So if they search the film, at least they would find.
They'd find that.
Yeah, and we would promote it through our social media pages as well. And then I think to Ms. Baker's point of being a part of the actual event for the premiere, having a presence there, absolutely. Like let's do it.
Well, their name would be in the credits as well.
Yeah.
Right, but that's going to happen anyway. I'm trying to get myself to, yes, I want to support this because I think it has the potential to really bring something to the community. But I'm I can't get my mind wrapped around how
Right.
that's going to happen yet. And as much as I would love to support you, and you know, you'd have less on your HELOC. You know, that's not the taxpayer's job.
My sob story, that's
You know,
it, yeah.
but I do want to bring a lot of people into the community, and I see the potential for this to do that. I'm just try and figure that out.
Ken, how much of your discretionary fund do you still have?
I would be able to do whatever, basically, I haven't touched that yet. For
Okay.
things like this, that we're in a gray area. So if you gave me some guidance, you could either choose bronze, or you could say like, Ken, just use your judgment out of your fund and meet with Dustin afterwards, and we could get something somewhere in that ballpark. So I'll just defer to your guidance, but ultimately he's, you know, expressed he'd certainly be happy at that level.
I would like a clarification, Jeanette, about what you were trying to say down there. Were you talking about the torch fire or the premiere?
The premiere. I think if we're going to put money into this venture, then we need as much notoriety as possible. And I understand that, you know, we want to limit the funds that we put into it, but going to the silver sponsorship gets you the featured in the premiere program at the art craft, things like that. I think it's something that if he's holding the premiere there, that Festival Country could very much be in the forefront at that. And I think that's worth a lot. So I think it would be worth the extra 2,500, honestly.
All right. Are there any more discussion items? No. Do we have a motion?
I'm willing to make a motion that we give Ken the executive authority to determine the appropriate amount based on the set criteria that we discussed up here. So, you know, ROI that we can expect and based on the amount that we're spending off, and that
We'll research all of that, plus the impressions at the art craft, and craft something that's
that
appropriate.
that is appropriate. I think.
Do you think you don't have enough information for us to take a vote? Is that?
I don't feel like that was my last comment. That's where I'm having troubles, you know, squaring that circle, is that I don't feel like I fully understand, you know, if we allocate $5,000 to this, what we get back as a community. You know, what we get back as Festival Country, what we get back at, you know, to this. I want to support it. I really, really do. I think this is an awesome opportunity. I just don't fully understand that yet. And I think we need to.
It's outside of our wheelhouse, so I can see why, like, a concert's easy to understand. They're coming.
They're coming in. Right.
And just the premiere, they're coming, but that's not what we're here for.
Right.
So I would have
this is
to
a no shelf life, you know.
I'd have to,
be around
I
for
know,
20 more years.
run some numbers.
Right. And that's why I make that motion. I think we give you the executive authority to do that as the director here to kind of come up with that.
Nights are we looking at total?
2 weeks.
Oh, for the staff coming in, we have it's 2 weeks of filming.
Right.
So I think we're but it's not everybody's here every night.
Oh, correct.
So I think we're between two actresses that are coming in, like 9 days for each one.
Okay.
Something like that.
Times how many people?
We just have the two that are coming back.
So
Everybody else
18
is
roommates?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So that's my motion, is that that we provide Ken the executive leeway to research this and then make a determination and utilize his discretionary funds to do the appropriate.
What's the range in your discretionary?
I was gonna say, what does that range look like?
I have up to, I think, $25,000. So I think, just basing from what you've all said, I think it's going to fall somewhere in the discussion range.
Mhm.
So you're not going to be shocked when the check appears next month. But I do want to James' point, I think I want to run the numbers. I agree with that.
How
And
soon could you do that so he doesn't have to wait a month to know?
Week.
You'll
Yeah,
let
he'll know.
And then you would let us know?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll keep up.
You will call me and talk to me until I make a decision.
So that, you want to repeat that motion?
So I make a motion that we authorize Ken to utilize his discretionary funds in this to look into this, under the discussion that we've already had, looking at an ROI return, and then based on that.
Okay.
I might say.
And that's everything. That's hotels, restaurants, impressions with
The
viewers,
the art,
the Instagram person, the Bob and
Yeah.
Tom show nationwide.
and I'll actually task Dustin with sending me an email that kind of outlines as he sees it.
Yeah.
That would help me make sure I'm inclusive. So, yeah, we're good.
You got a second to go with that?
You got a second? All right. Is there any further discussion? Nope.
I will just, before we vote, I was in favor of the silver, which just to take that into consideration of what.
I'm favoring high.
As was I.
Yeah. Just so you kind of understand where the board is at. So.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right. Well, I'll approve the motion for a discretionary fund based on, I guess, the information that we provided to Ken. Is that all I need to, would that be the motion?
Yeah, that's all I
Okay.
need.
All right.
I'll take care of
All
it.
approve, say aye. Aye. All opposed. All right.
Dustin, please come forward. We'll Photoshop the giant check later.
He's super talented.
Yeah.
You could do this for all of them. Now you know.
All right.
This is great.
They're giving away blank checks now.
Better to live in. Be, say, printed, it can be screened.
And let's.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Okay.
This one's super interesting.
I apologize to our last grant applicants. I thought, so, we'll go to the last grant application.
Hi. Oh. Hi, I'm Megan Yagi with Old Town Greenwood Inc.
I'm Amy Borelli. I am a local artist in Johnson County, owner of Teal Canary Art Studio.
All right, what we're presenting tonight is a little bit twofold. There's an event piece of it, but also a beautification piece of it. So I'm gonna talk to the beginning kind of event part of what you're doing, just to kind of show you full picture. So Felicia, if you want to go to the next slide. I think as you all know, we did Final Fridays for 2 years. Unfortunately for us, it wasn't sustainable as far as the time commitment that it took and the volunteer workload, but we did want to transform that into something that would work for our community. And we took the best parts of what we were doing with Final Fridays and kind of pivoted those a little bit. And with our promotion committee came up with doing an Arts in Old Town event. So we decided that to do the third Thursday of each month through September. So make it more sustainable from a length period, make this more of a summer series than a full year. Having artists set up along Main Street, we were doing that for Final Fridays as well. It was really successful. Having just one live band along Main Street as well. But then within this event, adding the element of a community art project. So this is going to be really where things are different than they were before. And I think kind of different than other events that are happening around us currently. If you want to go to the next slide. So this is where I'm going to turn it over to Amy, but just to give a little bit of a background quickly, I think you guys know, we've been talking to Ken a lot lately, trying to figure out what projects would work up in Greenwood and how we can partner with you all more on beautification. And he really, as you know, stressed the interactive element, but also specifically mentioned like how great butterfly wings are, those kind of murals, how, maybe it'd be great to do a butterfly wing mural. So we thought, well, those happen a lot and they're great. Of course, I stop every time you see butterfly wings, you're going to stop by and take a picture, right? My kids love them, but how can we level that up? And that's where, we as an organization, which Amy's involved with anyways, but tapped into her artistic skills and thought, how can we level this up? How can we make it different than what we see all the time? So this is where her vision comes in, and I will let Amy step in and take over.
Hi, everybody. I know some of you, so hello. I'm inviting you into Imago. Imago is actually a living art experience. It's evolving, that is designed to activate Old Town Greenwood through interactive public installations. Rooted in transformation, the experience invites visitors to explore, return, and engage with art in a way that unfolds over time. The installation series introduces large-scale interchangeable butterflies. So the concept is interchangeable butterfly structures designed to showcase original artworks selected by artists, by myself, in part created through a guided community participation. Each piece becomes part of a larger visual experience and connects locations, encourages movement, and creates a sense of discovery. The next slide. Through a simple digital layer, the next slide, please, sorry. Through the digital layer, which is actually QR codes located on each item, they can access a field guide. The field guide experience will be scanned and shown by their installation. This provides updated locations, artistic insight, and an opportunity to engage more deeply within the work. Go ahead. We back up one more, sorry. So this also, what Teal Canary and myself as an artist is creative leadership and artistic execution of the experience, including cohesiveness, intentional designs through the entire project, and high-level delivery. So do you want me to take some questions, or do you want me to? Yeah. So Imago exists to feature experience with arts in Old Town, expanding the event in a dynamic place-based art activation that continues to grow over time. So the reason why I created this is no one has this. No one has anything like this. And a lot of questions have been asked, like, why do you have to have it moving? And why do you have to be so involved? It's actually an experience that people can come back to. And yet, even though some of our visiting people come one time, and one of our Greenwood people or one of our Franklin people might come one time, there are other people who want it to look differently the next time. And you all know with Instagram and influencers, they want to come to a place where, oh, I'm getting my picture taken in front of the butterfly, that the wings are interchangeable and it's different now. It's not the same as what my friend has. So instead of it having just the same thing over and over and over, it's something that is giving you experience and also provides longevity as well. I've also planned a future for this as well. We have pieces in there in case somebody steals a piece or a piece is broken. And also these posts that would be installed, we do have a plan in place if they do need to have poured concrete, or if we can use existing concrete or even asphalt. So we've looked into also the future of these. If the butterflies have been there and done that, then these could actually be turned into other things, these posts that are actually installed. So I'm thinking about the future. When Ken had mentioned to Megan about the butterflies, a lot of people have already done the wings and stood in front of wings, but there's nobody that has my vision that I've dreamed of for years in these sculptures. And I would like to see through the creative process. And I think this could be really big. At first, we were only, if you move the slides for me, thank you. So we are suggesting 4 butterflies, and approximately for 4 full-size butterflies, there's 2 artists each. In each artist, it would be juried by myself and selected with the whole entire vision and the completion. So each one of them might have, all of them might have a nice black outline. So when you do interchange them, they're front and back. And when you do interchange them, they look like cohesiveness, because not everybody's an artist, right? And so we want this to be go across all walks of life. So we also wanted to make sure you knew that there is an opportunity to do 8 and 16 or even expand it throughout the county. But right now, what we are asking for is the part that is the community based. So during this event, June, July, August, and September, I will have all the pieces of the butterflies and designed to where the community comes in and paints it. And that artist that we select, whether it be myself, which I would like to be one of the main artists, that would be a requirement for the project, that I would be heading up at least one butterfly, if not more, that I paint that with the community. And I also work with other artists to paint with the community. And then I help finish it. The artist helps finish it, and we seal these for weather. So from start to finish, I've thought about the beginning and the end, and thought I would present today.
When you say paint with the community, do you mean like have an event where people come out and do that, or like
This event, so Arts in Old Town. Go ahead.
Okay.
You want to do it? Yeah. Arts in Old Town would have that event. The
Okay.
part of it is that Arts at Old Town will have the community event in it. So it's a twofold project.
Sorry, I'm slow, so you gotta.
No, it's okay. So the community event, there will be artists set up, kind of as merchants with their booths along Main Street, but also then as part of that, so people can shop. There will be live music, but then there will be an area that people can then come get hands on. And I think we've seen that all the community murals, people love that sense of ownership to it. They want to say that they've taken part of it. So for them to be able to paint on these, I think, also this could be a draw in, not just, we know that the goal is to bring people right from outside of Johnson County. I think if they have the opportunity to be part of this, I can see them coming down not only for the event to have their chance to give back and be artists, but also then of course they're gonna want to come back and visit what they contributed to.
So not only can this also transform the underutilized areas in Greenwood, it can also encourage repeat visits and also supports local and regional artists. It creates an interactive, accessible public art experience, and it enhances the overall Arts of Old Town event, which we are having trouble in the past having more people come, more foot traffic for our businesses.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Have you secured the first 4 installation points yet?
We have not. I do have a lot of ideas of where they could be located, which would be amphitheater, parks, city building, and down Madison. Those are the 4 areas I wanted to start.
And it could be public land or private land?
Yes.
Well,
We are going to push for private.
we haven't met with the city yet to get full permission. So yes, we would love to have those in some of their public spaces, and we would hope that they would be agreeable to that, but we are not for sure yet. We had reached out to Alyssa and we're not able to connect with her before this, but we are confident that if the city says no on their property, that we can then go to private property owners. On your QR code, if we were to invest in this, would you have a link to Festival Country website? Okay.
Where would that QR code go? Would that go to the Imago?
Imago.
Imago?
This is gonna be a page on the Old Town, as I see it now, it would be a page on the Old Town Greenwood website. That would be this field guide that's gonna have a map, but then we also pictured this with links. So we wanted to get the artists to talk through their work as well, so that people could scan. The QR code's gonna be on each one, of course, with the Festival Country logo on each and every butterfly. They can scan that. Then we've thought maybe it's thumbnails of each wing or however that looks that can then take you to that video. And if you want to click on it, you can see that artist talk to that piece and how it came together. Maybe we're even getting footage of these being painted at the event, but this also helps with ADA. There's benefits, and of course the storytelling benefit of it as well.
And the field guide is to find them all, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this an existing program?
No.
So this would be created, like a website created? Is there, would there be an opportunity, Ken, for us to just have it through Festival Country? I mean, if we're gonna be funding it.
Well, they have their own website.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering. So it's,
If you guys want it.
right, I'm just wondering like what that looks like and if there'd be ability to reduce costs, if there is those types of.
I can say the website build was not included in the cost. I was just gonna
Okay.
do it. I'm not, I'm good enough at websites to be able to get that done. But if it is something that you see, like maybe we pilot this in Greenwood, or maybe you just want to go crazy now and do them throughout the county, I think it would be very cool to do them in notable places throughout the county. So if that's something that you all want, are into this, and I think we would still like to incorporate this into our event. But if you're saying you want to do it and it live on your website and this be a Festival Country thing along with.
I feel like setting us up with the possibility of moving to the county, that makes more sense than starting over, but.
If
yeah.
indeed this is a tourism draw, I think you would want it on the tourism website.
Right.
Will this be the appropriate time to, did you have something you want to say before I launch?
Say that there's a lot that we did not include in this, but we just wanted to make a solid terms.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
So Jason and I talked earlier because there was an issue like, so it's easy when we partner with someone like Discover Downtown Franklin to do First Fridays. They're already paid. City of Franklin I don't have to pay Dana to help me with an alley. Our grant guidelines specifically say we can't pay for like oversight and staff and things like that. So I talked to Jason and see if there's any way around this. And here's where we're at. Anything that we could do to focus our resources on the creation of the actual physical art. So that's hiring Expo Arts to build the butterflies, paying for the artists and supplies. That seems like it's within our grant guidelines. Everything else is a little out of our grant guidelines. So contingency funds, creative direction and consulting, which is not to say that you could not make an exception or that they could seek funding separately for that, but our grants, and I was actually at a meeting this morning, and it was people that apply for grants and get grants, and one of their complaints was that grants everywhere, that's pretty much what it is. You can't use it for staff. It's got to go to the program. So it's not just us. That's kind of how grant programs are set up.
Except when there's a third party involved. So for example, we sponsor concert series.
That goes to the musicians. It doesn't go to Mallow Run staff to.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It goes to the artist.
And we have no issue with the money going to the artist. It's the oversight and staff, anything outside of the artist.
Well, they don't have any staff.
Well, part of it
They-
was factored in as creative direction.
It would, so
look,
if you look at what I posted on Teamwork, the 4 butterflies would be $8,800 for manpower to.
Right.
That's outside of artists.
So when we,
We had to.
so here, when we say pay an artist here, are you thinking all you're paying him is to slap paint on?
No, the artists are fine. Musicians are fine, artists are fine. I'm talking supervision and like staff, like we wouldn't pay Danny, we wouldn't pay Jen, we wouldn't pay Dana. It's not allowed by our grant guidelines, and I would have to check if it's even allowed. State regulations that govern us. Because it was the same way at Indiana Dunes Tourism, that's what we're up against. We don't pay for staff to like take tickets or to clean the garbage cans, like it's expected that you provide that. We're just paying for the musicians, the artists, the metal, the art.
So you have a project manager who is not staff of the applying organization. That organization can't take money and pay somebody to.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. We could pay for the butterflies, the artists, the supplies. If they get a grant or they have their own funding to pay.
You're very clear about what we can pay for. What are you saying we can't pay for?
Management, staff, like.
Yeah, so we built that, yeah,
The amount of time
it's
that they
still-
put into it, designing it, creating it.
Creative, if you look at this chart, creative direction and consulting, we, unless you guys can.
Amy said at the onset that, this is kind of the first pass bringing this to us. There seems to be a lot of questions on quantifying what gets paid where. Would it make sense to table this discussion until the next meeting, bringing back a quantification of what falls into what we can pay for and what we can't?
Well, we already have that. That was in the board packet.
Okay, so.
And that would be contingency and then the line below that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you
Correct.
eliminate those two
Those
lines,
two
we can.
lines, if we're just.
So how is creative not just paying an artist to think about what they're going to do before they do it? Isn't that exactly what that is? And don't we pay people like vendors for that kind of thing?
We don't pay vendors.
You never paid hirings for creative?
Oh, well, that's not out of the grant fund. That's completely different rules.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Actually, the peanuts, extra pieces that we may need if they get broken or stolen. That's what the contingency is.
Yeah, and being newer to this, I don't exactly know how it works, because a lot of this obviously is estimates.
Right.
So, kind of what I was assuming is we were granted up to this much, we've got to turn in receipts at the end of the day, so if we don't
Yeah.
spend that, we're not gonna
Right.
get that back. But that would potentially cover if we do have to do X, Y, and Z for So on the line with the 8,800, because it says the lead artist, creative direction and consulting. To your point, we would just need to pay for the lead artist, not the creative and not the consultant.
The artist is already covered under each one. So like
Yeah.
Amy, it says per like number. Oh. So the amount that's paid to each butterfly for the artist, we could pay that to Amy if she painted one.
Right.
No issue.
Right.
But you can't pay her otherwise.
We can't pay her to go to city council meetings and get permission. We can't pay her to like.
This part of it.
If she hired four artists, to do 4 butterflies, you could pay those artists, but you can't pay her for finding the artist, creating a concept they're gonna work within, none of that?
Correct.
Correct. So let me just further explain a few other points, because Jason brought this up when I chatted with him earlier. So I think if I give you the full context, then your questions, then I think I need to get through the other points first, and then we can circle back to that. So when we provided the $50,000 to the community foundation and we provide the match, there was never going to be any overhead. What we were going to do is form a committee of me, Kim Casting from the community foundation, and an artist, and none of those 3 would get paid. What that also ensured was that because we're the primary investor, that our creative vision is given equal billing. Now, I get that like this has been her dream for so long and she wants to do 100% of it, and that's why I'm like, well, you could raise the money for that extra bit and we'll just buy all the hardware and the paint and you can still do that vision, but we would still want, and I'll back up. So the original proposal was 4 butterflies. Talking to Jason, he's been to Florida and Iowa where there's 150 of the.
Well, I can speak on that. We went down to Dunedin, Florida, and they have these mermaids that are everywhere throughout the town that are kind of decorated differently. And then at I guess Iowa and Coralville, they have Herky the Hawkeye statues everywhere, but they're all different and unique. And they kind of become a photo opportunity. They made us dwell longer. It may not have been the reason why we went there, but it was one of those reasons where it's like, all right, we stayed there for more than a half a day because of those. So I see the value.
And and I've been to Cheyenne, Wyoming, where they had 12-foot tall boots, and they weren't just painted. One artist took license plates and cut them into squares and made a mosaic. So I kind of think like if we're really wanting tourists, they're not going to come for 4 butterflies. Like I'm not going to Fort Wayne for 4 butterflies. I'd go for 16, and I'd go if we got to pick some of the artists, somebody that snips metal and makes a mosaic. RC, the artist that's nationwide and has a following. So I see like, just like with the community foundation, if we're going to do this, we should do it to a large scale and we should have a shared vision, because if it was all created by just the public, I don't know that it would have as much impact as, I mean, we were talking earlier, we need a bigger band, or we need to get some of these artists to Bargersville that have a following. If we get someone like RC or Eduardo Cobra or name 4 others, and they do half of them, and we do half in the community participation thing, I think it's going to get more eyes on it for them, but also for us. So I think
it's a great idea. My biggest concern would be them so spread out where it becomes not as big of an attraction, where it's more walkable. So do you guys see that more Old Town and then near like
3 months?
I guess the park, the library, that area? So it encompasses that?
Yeah, everything would be within the whole town.
Yeah, you want that concentration.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you guys reached out to the Indiana Arts Commission or anything about grant dollars?
This is my first. Yeah,
Okay.
the Indian Arts Commission just had a grant cycle. We actually applied for additional funds towards the mural.
So Don, having given that background of what kind of where it needs to go, but what also the limitation that you were asking me about, do you want to follow up?
I do want to follow up, but I don't know what my follow-up is yet.
Okay.
I have.
I mean, it's anything.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. You don't.
And what would that be?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can worry about that.
So let's assume that we let's say we say 60 or 70,000, how much do we have remaining to give, and what just the overall scope of that? Because it's only April, right? So
Yeah. So with Edinburgh not being most likely able to bring their concert venue to fruition, I believe we could do probably like 70,000, and we could do that, and that would be enough to buy the things, the artists. So it would be incumbent upon them to like, hey, let's go get some other funding. It would only be another, like, help me out here, 23,000. So we'd be providing the lion's share. If they could find some other funding, we could still make it happen, but
How long will these butterflies last?
They would be created by Expo Art, so they last a very long.
10 plus years.
Okay.
And also those posts can be created into something else if the butterfly.
I guess what I was thinking of too is down the road. Yeah, we get the butterflies going, but we could utilize the post and maybe we do ladybugs and bees or dragon wings or something else that would appeal to, down the road, have other wings made in a different frame, different style. That would keep it going for years and years and years to come. Because when I first looked at this and saw 4 butterflies, and I'm like, those are all full size. We got to have the little ones for kids to be involved in that kind of stuff.
Actually, like, when we met, I said you have to add the kids ones, and so that's why I made that proposal.
There's actually eight panels on each one, right? Got front and back.
4
and back.
Front and back.
Oh,
So, some will be floating in the middle of somewhere, so you'll see the backside. So the artist is not just painting the front, they're also painting the back. And also it's 8-foot wingspan, so it's not a small thing.
and so I had talked to them also about efficiency. So if you get a national artist like RC, I would think that he and we would want him to do a full butterfly by himself, not just a half. So I think you can kind of have some efficiency by not splitting every butterfly up.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
There's a lot of contingencies. I know, like, weird things in there.
And most of the contingency in there is if we have to pour concrete, these are gonna be elevated in cost. We can do less because of the, if it's not existing concrete or asphalt.
So we could do contingency if those things were approved in advance. Like if you came to us and said, okay, we've identified these spots, these 4 need concrete, we need $1,250. That's fine. What we can't do is we get the bill at the end and the contingency was we need more labor and here's the bill. So that's why that was flagged, but
She said the first one.
If you get a national artist in, I'm assuming you then have to also pay for their travel on top of their artists.
2 ways. We could have them come in, find out when their schedule is, when they're passing through, or we could actually ship one of these pieces to them and have them do it in studio and ship it back to us. Yeah, like,
See, that would fall.
yeah.
I appreciate your suggestion, and I'm about ready to embrace it. You put a high number out there to step up the game. But it can only be spent on certain things. I just would like an assurance. So we have an artist who came up with a concept that's way cool. We wouldn't have thought of this. We've got an organization that embraced it. And obviously now we're going to have some say so in it if we put that much money in it. But I don't want to undo I don't want part of that process to end up undoing their concept.
You've seen the art that we've created in this community, the alleys and stuff that have gotten us statewide attention. I would think you would want our input. And I've talked to them and we think that together we can strengthen this. Like, hey, we get some national artists, we get metal on one of them instead of painting. So like, I think when people get together and put their heads together, you can actually make an idea stronger. That's my thought.
Did you actually get a price on these posts?
Yeah. That's broken up in the spreadsheet. So for 16 of them, the fabrication and installation is 45,600.
That's what it should be. Sure.
And you're still in the process of getting Greenwood on board to see where you can put these, correct? Yes. I almost think that might be information that would be good for us to know.
I would concur. And the other thing that, that I'm
Need to
kind
know where
of
they're going to go.
working with is we appreciate that you came to us first, but I think it might be good to see what else is out there funding wise too. Instead of just us. Is Greenwood gonna pony up to this? Is the Arts Commission or anybody else?
Well, the EDC, did I say that? No.
We asked them about several different things and not.
It's a no-go?
Really any reception on the city.
The city attorney's pretty much like, EDC has money to spend, but there's nothing you can spend it on.
That was pretty much the feedback that we've.
Alrighty then.
Does Greenwood have its own separate arts council?
No.
No.
The Greater Green Arts Council is actually not doing very well. There's other.
It's not connected to the government like it is here in Franklin.
I guess I love the idea. Let's just start off with that. It's awesome. I think that not only the community would enjoy it, but any visitor would use that as a photo opportunity. I mean, talk about just being prominent in terms of the social media presence. My only hangup is some sort of festival country branding. We want to capitalize on it being festival country rather than, I feel like it's Imago or Imago or.
It's just our logo on it. I don't want like.
No, exactly. So what?
I don't want it to like one of the wings to say festival country. Right.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean?
Antennas. The antennas can say festival country.
Yeah, some sort of, you know, so either a say more, I guess I would like to have that more definitive. What is our involvement? What is our exposure? What does that look like for festival country? Rather than it almost looks like we're just, you know, I guess funding it, but we have no part in it.
Well, we're back there with on the backside with the QR code and all that.
Well, and that's why I was wondering if it could go straight to our website, because then all of a sudden it becomes, we have a little bit more ownership.
Why you put two codes?
Into that if you wanted to,
Yeah.
on your web, that's not a sticking point. For
Yeah,
I mean, I would love if we're involved as Old Town or something, maybe our logo could be on your.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Right. Something like that.
So that's.
Because then when visitors come, they look at that and then they can click for dining and to stay. If they're on your site, they could go like, oh, well, let's get a hotel north of the border. And then that doesn't help us. So I think Jason's spot on as a hotelier, wanting that to be directed to the tourism website.
And that gives opportunity for as well. If you decide to do this.
We're gonna put brochure racks on each one of them.
Yeah, there you go.
That wouldn't be tacky at all.
Justin. Festival Country does have a role in it where we took out the paid people.
But I think ultimately, would you feel comfortable if, just like we did with the community foundation, that we get together and select artists and collaborate? Or do you want? Oh, yeah. We would want
What we did with the community foundations, we had a representative from each organization and an artist in residence. And that would be you in this case.
Yeah, Imago, a living art experience brought to you by Festival Country.
That's where this.
That would be my suggestion.
Like they would come to us.
That's good.
Could they be mobile? So the discussion right now is, could these things be mobile? Right? So we're putting them in the ground, but is there a way to do it so that festival country, you know, if we're buying these, it's not just planted in the ground in Old Town, but say that's the center point. But during the fair, they come down to the fair, you know, you have something that does that where now there's an event in Edinburgh and
But then those people need to see it's branded as Old Town Inc.
Yeah, only if we would go like, hey, here's this photo opportunity, we see all 15, the other 15 in Greenwood, but like 100%. They're so big, you'd probably only move the child's one, quite frankly. But yeah.
And you have the website where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to, you know, it's a lot of money.
Right.
You know, it's an awful lot of money. And how can we get the most bang for our buck across, you know, the entire county?
I like the idea, and like I was telling him, I would like to see Festival Country buy a handful of these and give them to each county and have each county have an involvement with Greenwood or Franklin or in the other counties and towards countywide, not just Greenwood. And then,
Well, Old Town Inc. can't do that.
well, what I'm saying is if we donate the butterflies, and then that county or that organization or city of Franklin or the arts thing in Greenwood, they find their artists and they design it up, and then it's kind of countywide.
I would say that's an excellent point. We would want a concentration that visitors, because visitors want, like Jason and I talked about, 16 all in one spot. It's not to say we couldn't also have like a couple of childlike ones, one in the visitor center, one down at the Trafalgar Amphitheater, and like, so that you saw on the map that there were others, but you do want to have in walking distance the wow factor in one spot.
Agreed. I'm just trying to get at it that, you know, it's great, but there are so many other events that go on besides in areas around, you know, Greenwood.
But we can start in Old Town Greenwood or that area, see how it takes off, and then run campaigns in the future of Florida, Johnson County, and go to other cities.
It's not a bad idea, but we don't say this about murals.
Right, exactly.
Well, Mackenzie goes to events in every community. She could take one of the child ones and have it at the booth for a photo opportunity, and then
I think she should take one of the big ones.
He's already mad at me for something, so.
And then we can sell Halloween costumes that look just like that.
Oh, there you go.
Like if you're looking for a place on Madison Avenue, for example, to place one of these butterflies, I can't imagine you wouldn't find a business owner, for example, that
Right.
to say, hey, I'll pay for the concrete, no problem. 'Cause
Yeah.
My business is going to be in the background of every photo.
Or probably already got concrete. They
You
probably
know,
already have a sidewalk.
Like, kind of, you could partner with some locations around the county that would throw some skin in the game, because it's going to help them as well.
So I guess, do we have a motion or any further discussion on this?
I just wanted to address something that James said. I like the idea that they came to us first for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
I do too. I'm like,
Number one, they know this is less competitive than anywhere else they're gonna go ask for money, probably.
Yeah.
And secondly, if they can get our brand on it, it'll be easier for them to raise money from other people.
Right.
One last point that Amy wanted me to mention. The reason that we would, if you're comfortable making a decision now, is that they have these events scheduled. And the further we delay this, we may not be able to have the June, July, August events. So, but if you're not ready to make a decision, that's fine. But just, that's why I think they came this meeting.
I do like the idea, but I do have some concerns about the money that we've spent so far this year. And, you know, we're already at 61% through the first 3 months of the year. That's a little concerning to me as a member.
We have approximately 150,000 left over from prior years that's never been allocated. So we could cover this if money is the issue. Now, if you have questions about the project itself.
I love the project.
Yeah, I think it's like the alleys. It's like the murals. These are things that do draw people, or when they're in the community, as Jason said, you stay longer. If you stay in longer and you were going to leave at 11 and now it's 1, well, now you're hungry and now you're eating. So great. You know, I definitely see value to it. I'm trying to get to how do we make it so it's not just focused on one little thing. That's kind of my big hang up on it, but I like the idea. I don't like the price, but I like the idea.
I think you like it too much.
Yeah.
Because this is the only thing that's ever been before us where we said, we might not like it unless you spread it over the whole county. We've never said that about anything.
No, right. No, I think it's awesome. It's just a matter of what we're willing to agree on.
Well, I think the board loves your vision. I just think we're struggling on how to partner with that. But
Can we go back to the options slide? And what?
All right.
Nope, you were
Yep,
right. Nope. Yep, up there. And what?
And so, and Ken, when you suggested, let's say 70,000, how many butterflies were you thinking of?
16.
16.
Oh, all 16, yeah.
I think you could approve 71,200 plus they would be able to come to me for contingency and get that approved separately. So I think if we're going to do it, we do 16 because like we were saying, you could do 4, but nobody's coming for 4.
No.
So you're either going to do it.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
And then, but you know, and then the next thing, and it goes to Edinburgh, and it goes to, you know, Franklin, and it goes to, and now it becomes it'd be great if we had monarch butterflies flying through here.
I've been trying to get Edinburgh to have like giant, like fiberglass statues of like a giant popcorn ball, the famous horse there, the bookworm at the library. So each community could have something different. Like,
Like I said, if she wanted to continue her vision, just
would just-
different wings at different cities or different areas around county. No.
Would you want to do like maybe 12 in Old Town, but as you mentioned, do you put one in Trafalgar, one in?
I think you do all 16, but maybe even order a 17th that is traveling with Mackenzie and goes to our visitor center and appears. So, but I think ultimately you want that concentration.
Continue to grow
Get
interest.
it, and then the next year, if it gets featured in a 2-page spread in Visit Indiana, then we put another set in Trafalgar.
Exactly.
Go big.
You want a lot so that like.
It becomes.
Oh, no, we take it over at that point. It was, no, just kidding.
Yeah.
They're walking around.
I think to appeal to, all the kids and different things, I think,
I think
It'd be-
different artists get different flavors and.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think seeing two artists at one butterfly and it's never been done is exciting.
Yeah.
Creating that evolution.
You've never worked with us, but Expo Arts will tell you that we're like their favorite client because we respect creativity, but we also come with ideas. And when we finally come to something, it's something that each side liked more than their original vision. So,
I might have taken that role because she really likes me.
okay.
So would your recommendation of 71.2, is that including the event cost as well, or is that just for the installations?
Help me out here.
That is not including event costs. I mean, if that's a sticking point, we can figure out a way to.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that we did
Yeah,
cover everything.
I would say we focus on the products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
71,200, and then they have the option to come to me with my discretionary fund for any contingencies that come up. That would be my recommendation if you want to do this.
Do you think that the city would have issues with us using their property to put these things on?
Well, that's what they're going to check out. If they say no, there's, like they said, there's plenty of private businesses that would love to have people posing in front of their business and then going in and getting a drink.
Because I know O Town, they had some issues with some signage where there was walls and, you don't want people driving, take their eyes off the road to see things. So I know signs have to be certain
When we talk
feet off the wall.
murals, I guess their hang up was that murals can't be signage as far as I know. So they do have signage ordinance as far as heights and size of things.
Same in Franklin.
They're adding art of their own. They have that card mural and they've been doing electrical boxes. So I think it would actually, they would love to see it. I personally think.
Like it, it's always a little bit hit and miss. I think they'd be crazy not to put one right in front of the field house or.
The city center.
Yeah.
And I just finished
City park,
a
I mean,
sidewalk mural for the storm drain mural project. I don't know if you saw that I did that storm drain mural project and people thought that, they're looking at that too. So they're the ones who
Which one did you just do? Which one?
did the storm drain mural project. First mural.
Like on the storm drain, she painted these cool things like coming out.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So have to have the date.
Let's get to there again.
Yeah. So those people saw it. Okay.
If you don't know, she's also the artist for the fierce mural that got done in Greenwood.
Did you do the one by the Napa that says Greenwood now and all that?
No, that
The new one? I saw that.
That was for
She did the gears or what are the circles called?
Johnson County Community Foundation,
Near Reverie.
Okay.
as well as the Humane Society, Leadership Johnson County. I'm working with 4 Leadership Johnson County groups this year. I do a lot for the community, give back. So it'd be great to have your approval to be a paid artist.
Well, thank you. I guess.
Did you, I have one quick question. Did you design this? Like, do you have a patent on this design? Have you? But I mean, just the
trademark.
concept of the pole and the butterflies. No. Okay.
I really don't want anybody to steal it.
Right.
I would want to be part of the entire process and if you accept.
But to further, but you did help come up with the design, because you can't Yeah. patent it, but you did work with experts. Yeah, I just wondered if Yeah. if this is gonna be in other states or.
A good idea to go robbed and duplicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but
Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing butterflies.
But we'll be the first.
yeah, well, this will be unique, as she explained, the interchangeability, the density in one location. It'll be our own Chicago cows or our Iowa or our Florida.
Yeah.
The bean.
With the cost. Are you just taking this number?
I'm removing lead artist and I'm removing contingency, but saying
Project.
how much,
That's how I feel.
There's no.
how much would that be?
I just look at the project.
What'd you add to 71 to?
Yes, it's steep.
800?
But I think
2,000?
it would be fun to spread it throughout the county, only differently to draw. You're like, okay, all Greenwood's got all the better.
73.
Trafalgar has all the.
Okay.
I'd like to add back some money for the event cost.
Right.
Next year.
For the third Thursdays.
Let's not do that, but add, we never added her actual artist fee in. So with that in, it would be 73,700. I think we're probably reaching a certain limit that we wouldn't add that on.
All right, does anybody have any, I guess, anything further to add or discussion? No, do we have a motion?
I move to approve
$73,700
$100
plus to give me the option of contingency if there's concrete or other needs.
for Old Town Greenwood Inc.'s Imago project for 16 butterflies. Including only the components that we discussed were within our spending rules.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion on this? All right, so for the motion of $73,700 for 16 butterflies, I guess with all the contingencies that we did talk about, and then Ken's discretionary budget, all approve, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you. And I would just, one last thing that I'm gonna hag about. Make sure before you place the order with Expo that the city will, if not allow them on their property, allow them on, like, we just have to make sure we don't buy them and then there's nowhere for them to go. We take them to Franklin and they put them up, but we don't want that. Okay.
You said that you would help with project management. Is that something that you can then take on since we don't have, or maybe that's something for us?
We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go, Ken.
I know, this is a long one.
We made him work hard for it.
Yeah, well.
Make your way to the,
Oh, that's
Oh, we've been here like 8:30 before.
Yeah.
Oh, all
Yeah, this isn't the longest one we've had.
Yeah, I'm there to give her phone, so.
Oh.
Well, so close, right? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Well, thank you all very much.
Thanks,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
I can't wait to take my picture.
Thanks for bringing the project.
yeah, let's just, meet whenever you, feel you have better.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta let it go.
Back away for Ken to move forward.
No, go ahead.
Okay, let's move to the treasurer's report.
Okay. For tax period February paid March, the Johnson County Treasurer's Office collected $76,707.09, which was up from $65,787.83 for the same month in 2025. This total was reached with 2 hotels that are now currently closed. Our collections are up 17% year over year. At the end of February, the CBT's checkbook balance was $600,485.69. Expenses presented in the month of March total $114,408.23. In March, there were 6 deposits totaling $2,227.87, and there was $4.81 paid in interest. At the end of March, CBT's checkbook balance was $507,316.52. Expenses presented in the month of April total $75,396.61. These details have been shared on Teamwork for review. Claims are scheduled to be paid following tonight's board meeting.
All right, thank you. Moving to the legal report.
John Young has the night off.
All right, perfect. President's report. I have nothing to report. I'll go to Ken.
Jason and I did meet with Indiana FFA director, and we may be bringing some outdoor recreation or some other things there, but we'll talk about that later. Let's just move these slides along. I'll stop if there's anything. Yeah, Smith Travel Report shows that we're outpacing the comp set. I just got our latest weekly one, and we're at like 77, and nobody else is in the 70s. They're either in the 60s or 50s. So really good start to the year. You can read that in the board report if you're interested in the placer data. And that's our current funding. We're holding steady at around that figure. All right, state of the tourism event and award ceremony, our first ever, which we're coinciding with our 10-year anniversary, is May 4th at the Sycamore. We have a fall party on September 28th, if you'd like to put that on your calendar as well. And
Is that going to be at the Sycamore?
that'll be at the Mallow Run. So as
Mallow
part of
Run.
the sponsorship, we get use of 2 venues. So
Okay.
that's why we're doing it there.
What's the process for choosing those award recipients? Who's doing this?
We won't say it during a public meeting, but it was those who partnered with us for our biggest accomplishments. It was just,
And just staff figured that.
yeah. Well, it was quite
I mean,
obvious.
did people have to apply for it or anything?
No, it's,
Okay.
we selected those that were our biggest advocates and partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the idea. I'm assuming there's nothing on the floor or public comment, so we will move to it. Yes.
I do. Regarding the micronation deliberations you're gonna do, Ken?
Yes, sir.
We had an indication from Jeanette that she favored 5,000, and I think.
We have 3 that favor 5,000.
Well, I wanted to take a straw vote so you'd have full input. There may be other people who were willing to say 5 and didn't say so yet.
I would say 5.
That's fine. That's fair. I would say I would be leaning more so on the lower end, more toward 25. And with the majority of it going toward the premiere and the festival, to be honest, but that's where I stand.
Okay.
For me personally, I'm all over. I think it's a fantastic idea. I would love to see this happen again and again and again and again and again. My only hang up with it is we're buying a lottery ticket, right? And that's, so.
But we
I
do
want-
any event, I think.
Yeah, well, sort of, but
Yeah, we're not an investor in the
No.
film. We're a sponsor in the hopes that we'll get some return on it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of okay with going heavier. But I would definitely like to see if there's any way to track, any of that ROI kind of thing. And you can go, yeah, you know what, this does look like it's going to pay off long term. I think it's a fantastic idea. That's why I brought up the Madison thing, right? That really put them on the national map because of a movie.
Yeah.
So
When you first said that, I thought you meant Bridges of Madison County.
Yeah, I'll try to align it with the numbers, but also keep people's input in mind. I think you'll be pleased with what we come up with.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
Just one other thing that I wanted to get to, 2 quick things. We were given a 2-page spread in the Franklin Chamber magazine. So there's that. And then we also, in Franklin magazine, we were given a 2-page spread that coincides with our 10 years as an organization. And lastly,
And you got mentioned in the previous article.
yes. And lastly, the Gatling Gauntlet, the park board has closed it permanently. That's the bad news, but they read the writing on the wall that the longer this goes on, the more the equipment degrades. By the time, if we were to get it to reopen, the equipment would be in disrepair. Good news is John Young, who is also attorney for Park Board, said they have a pretty good idea that would be a tourism draw that they could use that space on. So stay tuned on that. I'm optimistic if the idea he told me comes to fruition. So it's actually on our long-term planning list.
So the parks decided we're permanently closing it and they're gonna start dismantling it or what?
Yes, they're going to, anything salvageable, nets, Atlas stones, flipping tires, they've had people inquire about purchasing them. So they could potentially raise some money to do the next thing that they have planned for that property.
Such a shame. And I was in Illinois a couple of weeks ago at a horse show, and I think they had Spotify on, the radio, and I hear a commercial for Festival Country. I was like, that's it, that's me.
That's awesome.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I always like it when you don't hear the commercials here,
Yes.
but you hear them elsewhere. That's like my goal.
Yeah.
So
it's
I'm glad
awesome.
you were gone and heard the
Yeah, it was awesome. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess let's move to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
One, two, six, seven.